When you look at the greatest athletes in sports history, you'll find a handful of MVP awards aside each of their names. It's simple. The best player is often the most valuable player in any given league. But sometimes guys who aren't expected to succeed become the most valuable player. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we dive into the 10 most unexpected MVPs in sports history. And a big shout out to Chicago Sports1 for suggesting this list. We do hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, feel free to click subscribe down below for more cool videos every single day. Number 10, Martin St. Louis. St. Louis joined the NHL as an undrafted free agent, as few teams thought his frame of 5'8", 182 pounds would be good enough to get by in the NHL. St. Louis entered the 2003-04 season as a long shot to win the league MVP, given the amount of parity in the NHL. But little Marty St. Louis won the scoring title with 38 goals and 94 points. Along with that, he took home the Hart Trophy as the league MVP and helped the Tampa Bay Lightning win the Stanley Cup. And every team passed on drafting him. Number 9, Andre Iguodala. The 2012 NBA All-Star was one of the many standouts on the 2015 Golden State Warriors championship team. But if the Dubs won the championship, logic pointed to league MVP Stephen Curry, or perhaps the towering Draymond Green as the finals MVP. However, Iguodala was the man who stole the series for the Golden State. He kept LeBron James in check and averaged 16.3 points and 4 assists per game during the series. That was enough for Iguodala to win the 2015 NBA Finals MVP. Number 8, Malcolm Smith. Smith was a 7th-round draft choice of the Seattle Seahawks in 2011, but he never truly screamed superstar. He put the NFL on notice during the 2013 NFL season, though, as his interception in the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers led Seattle to the Super Bowl. Facing the league's highest-scoring offense of all time, Smith had a 69-yard pick six and recovered a fumble to help Seattle win its first Super Bowl. And for his part, he took home Super Bowl 48 MVP honors. A one-hit wonder if we've ever seen one. Number 7, Jose Theodore. It's hard enough for a goalie to win the Hart Trophy. Try being Jose Theodore, the Montreal Canadiens netminder. Who would have thought he'd win the Hart when the NHL's top 5 all-time winningest goaltenders were still playing in the 2001-02 season? Nobody could have, except Theodore's 30 wins and .931 save percentage guided the Habs to the playoffs. It was enough for Theodore to win the Hart as league MVP. It was a very surprising decision to award Theodore the Hart, but it was special enough for him to make our list. Number 6, David Freese. The 2011 St. Louis Cardinals were carried by all-time great Albert Pujols and a dominant pitching staff. Nobody could have thought that David Freese, who was in his 3rd MLB season, would win the World Series MVP. This Cardinals team had too many other superstars that could have taken it. Nonetheless, Freese saved the Redbirds in Game 6 of the World Series against the Texas Rangers. His game-tying triple in the bottom of the 9th forced extras, where he would win a walk-off homer in the 11th inning. With 21 postseason RBIs, Freese was given the World Series MVP. Imagine how many of us could have been rich if we put money on it before the series. Number 5, Desmond Howard. In a 9-year NFL career, Howard caught 123 passes for 1,597 yards and 7 touchdowns. And sure, he had nearly 1,000 career return yards. But it's hard to rely on big returns to win a Super Bowl MVP, right? Well, in Super Bowl 31 against the New England Patriots, Howard had a 99-yard kickoff return to essentially seal the championship for the Packers. Howard racked up an amazing 244 all-purpose yards, and he, not league MVP Brett Favre, took home the Super Bowl MVP award. Number 4, Doug Williams. In 1987, amidst a well-documented quarterback controversy, Washington rolled with Williams for the playoffs over Jay Schroeder. Williams had spent plenty of time as a backup and struggled as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers starter years before. Nonetheless, Williams led Washington to a Super Bowl 22 victory, tossing for 340 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Denver Broncos. Williams also only had 100 touchdowns against 93 interceptions in his career, but he will always be remembered for winning the biggest game of his life. Number 3, J.S. Giguere. Going into the 2002-2003 season, Giguere hadn't played more than 34 games in a single season. He was an unknown goalie on a small-market Mighty Ducks of Anaheim franchise. Giguere's 34 wins were enough to guide the Mighty Ducks into the 2003 playoffs. Giguere was virtually unstoppable in the Western Conference playoffs, winning 12 of 14 starts to lead Anaheim to its first-ever Stanley Cup final berth. Though the Mighty Ducks lost to New Jersey in 7 games, the unexpected hot run by Giguere was enough to win the Conn Smythe as playoff MVP. Not often where a guy on the losing side wins it. Even then, who thought Giguere would carry his team that far in the first place? Number 2, Cedric Maxwell. Maxwell helped the Boston Celtics win the NBA championships in 81 and 84. He was a solid player with career averages of 12.5 points and 6.3 rebounds per game. But he was not on the level of the Celtics' Big Three. led by Larry Bird and fellow stars Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish. Nonetheless, Maxwell's 24 points in Game 7 against the arch-rival Los Angeles Lakers in the 1984 Finals was enough for him to capture a surprising NBA Finals MVP. They're called Big Threes for a reason, in that usually one of the stars leads his team all the way. In this case, it was the fourth guy, Mr. Maxwell. And number 1, Joe Namath. A 50.1 career completion percentage and 173 touchdowns against 220 interceptions sounds pretty bad, but we introduce you to New York Jets legend Joe Namath. This man had just 15 touchdowns and 17 interceptions during the 1968 season, but Namath helped the Jets face off against the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III. Despite being 18-point underdogs, Broadway Joe guaranteed a Jets victory. He backed it up as New York won 16-7. Namath was also given Super Bowl MVP despite being quite porous for most of his career. But when life gives you a chance to win a Super Bowl, you go out and win a Super Bowl. As such, Namath wasn't your average Joe. Who are some of the other most unexpected sports MVPs of all time? Join us in the comments below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.